The Honourable Josh Frydenberg presented the Liberals' budget on Tuesday night and has signalled quite a bit of spending to support the low and middle income earners, along with small to medium enterprise. So if you haven't already guessed it, a federal election is just around the corner and they need to win over votes, since Scott wasn't able to do that with a bit of ukulele playing at dinner with Carl. So let's start off with the topic that everyone has been talking about, and that is the cost of petrol. Due to supply constraints kicked off by the invasion in Ukraine, we are seeing over $2 a litre at the Bowser, which is a far cry from the depths of the pandemic back in 2020, where we saw it get under $1. The government is halving the fuel excise tax for 6 months, which should see a relief at the Bowser at about 22.1 cents a litre. They have also increased the spending with the ACCC to ensure that it is passed on. However, with oil prices already coming off the spike, it will be difficult to tell if this is actually going to be passed on or it is just prices returning to some form of normal. Next on the agenda is our favorite income tax offset, the low and middle income tax offset, which was set to finish this year, but not without receiving a boost of $420. This means if you earn between $48,000 and $90,000 a year, you will receive the full offset, which has been boosted from the $1,080 up to $1,500. As it stands, it is still set to finish up this year though. While we're talking about families, remember the government has already kicked off the changes to the childcare subsidy, with subsequent children under 5 years old receiving up to an extra 30% childcare rebate and the removal of the benefit cap for high income earners. There has been no other changes to childcare apart from this change, and that's been effective since the start of March this year. So please check out the video we've already done on this topic if you would like to know more. The one-off payments didn't end there though, as we have pensioners, veterans, and eligible concession card holders are going to receive a one-off tax-exempt payment of $250. Also, just a reminder that those receiving a pension, that it indexes every March and September to keep in line with the cost of living. This just saw the full rate single pension raised by $20.10 a fortnight, including supplements. If inflation continues to head in its current trajectory, we should see a similar rise in September. While we're on the topic of retirees, they have announced that the minimum drawdown for pension accounts will remain halved for 1 more year. This means you won't be forced to draw your normal income if you don't have to. Home ownership was the next target as the government increased its available places for the 5% deposit scheme, where the government would cover the LMI, helping more Australians get into their first home. The home guarantee scheme is doubling to 50,000 places, as well as supporting single parents who only have a 2% deposit, and it's also available for single parents re-entering the home ownership game if they haven't owned a house for more than 5 years. Medicare and the Pharmaceutical benefit scheme are receiving some more changes, with Medicare adding some more covered services, particularly focused on women's health, with the cost reductions to breast cancer screening and treatment and support for women's pregnancy health. Additionally, the genetic testing available for unborn babies will now be covered by Medicare, which is a saving of around $400. Businesses are getting some changes, the biggest one actually around apprentices. It is in a seemingly backward step, the government is going to be stopping the wage subsidy in favour of one-off payments for both employers and apprentices for taking up work in priority occupation lists. It still amounts to a considerable handout, however, not as generous as it currently is. Small businesses are also going to start enjoying the 25% tax rate, as it has been decreasing from the original 30% back in FY14. This means more profit retention for small businesses so they can continue to grow their services. Small businesses also receive a technology and training boost. This allows for an extra 20% deduction on cybersecurity systems, cloud-based subscription services, and mobile payment platforms. This is only available to those with a turnover of less than $50 million, so it will really target the smaller businesses. The training boost is available for upskilling employees with an extra 20% deduction available for external training courses. Now, I have only scratched the surface of what is in this budget, but hopefully it's covered over what is important to you. If you have any questions or want assistance in accessing some of the support available, please feel free to reach out.